It is a kind of turn point in the history, because it was in same time two revolutions. One revolution, it is like first serious anti-Bolshevik, anti-communist, anti-Soviet revolution. It was a movement against corrupt authorities and corrupt power, moving against the criminal power, which was in fact the Soviet power. It was a criminal power, and it started like a criminal people who took power in 1970s, and with a lot of slogan up on the top, with all this lie about the communist future, and they use everything, provocation, from the beginning of Soviet Republic. And what they did, they just took property and become too rich, and in hidden way. And also killed a lot of people. They killed like millions of people. And this is like one of the points in this confrontation, civil confrontation, which takes like 100 years. This is from scale of the former Russian Empire, from point of view which, if we can speak about in global about the history of Russia, and I mean Russia, I mean the Russian Empire, this territory, because it's very difficult to define. And now a lot of people that try to represent this event as a conflict inside Ukraine society. It is not like that. Or as a conflict in between Russia and Ukraine. It is war now between Russia and Ukraine, and Russia is the part who is aggressive part, and they like start to fight and occupy territory. But when I say Russia, I mean this part of Russian society which now accept the style and way of life which was during Soviet time, during Stalin time, and this part. It is a continuation of civil war, and even in Russia some families divided. People didn't expect this kind of serious confrontation inside the families. And in visual space, we can see the war in the east of Ukraine between Russian soldiers and pro-Russian volunteers and Ukraine army. In the hidden space, it is now the war which not appears openly for the another type of society. I think it was a question which the Russian or Slavic world didn't decide till now, and it's named the bourgeois revolution. When people get the rights, all people, like all citizens get the equal rights, because till now it's not like that. This is I speak more now about the Russian world, but it's a very strong connection between this nation. And what happens if I take closer to Kiev, what happens in Maidan? It shows to all the world and also to Russian people and to Ukrainian people that it is a nation. That in Ukraine live quite a lot of people for whom dignity and freedom it's not just a word, it's serious, and they are ready to die for that. And this is how all things happens. If you're ready to pay this kind of price, you can change the world. Of course, it's dangerous for all states as an idea of state, because we have a confrontation inside state everywhere. But if you manage in the right way, it changes society. And I can say that Ukraine nation exists before, because I can mark this situation like a birth of nation, birth of nation, and I can say that a nation existed before, but you need some event to show it. It was this kind of event. How it will develop in next month or weeks, because the situation develops so fast, we will see. Today it was fighting in Grozny, in Chechnya. Some group of the people who in opposition to Chechenian president, they took some buildings, and it was a strong fighting. And what it means, we don't know. But it's a situation like in boiling top. Everything which we can meet in cinema is unreal. This is shadow. This is how to say, model. It looks like real, but it's the same like illusionist show you the tricks, and we can speak only about illusion of reality. This is more correct. And but we have to know that in each time we have a different illusion of reality in which we trust. Maybe this kind of objectivity after, I don't know, 20, 30 years will be a subjectivity because our illusion of objectivity will move a little bit with new technical things or new language of cinema. Now I give this illusion with a few, if we talk about this film, with a few elements. It's a wide shot and time inside shot. Yeah. This is two elements which give this kind of, and of course I exclude some moments in which you involved in the situation on some side. Yeah. But in the same time, the structure of the film and what I choose on my side, and in structure you can read my message. It is like the feeling which exists in the same time. You feel that it's objective, and you are as a spectator inside the film. And same time, it's subjective, and the most important point in the film is how film ended. It's a final. And final give to that film idea. And you can develop film how you want, but you can change the meaning with one shot in the end, for example. This is my subjectivity because I choose this end. Already 11 years I work with a brilliant sound director. His name Vladimir Golovnitsky. He lives in Vilnius. And we make sound in Sharunas Bartas studio in his home with Volodya all the time. Like I have this pleasure to make sound 2 times a year. I make 2 films a year, 1 short, 1 long, and we work like 2 months, 3 months on the sound, very serious. In that case with Maidan, we have sound which record during the shooting, which was mostly it was a mono microphone which was on the camera, not such a good, it's a simple microphone. And also we have like 100 hours sound from the guy who, sound recordist who record the sound during whole Maidan for different purpose. And we normally add sound and make like a sound composition. In this film, for example, I prefer to explain a little bit what happens, what people want through the sound, because sometimes it's not such interesting to see how somebody talk on the stage. More interesting to see people, but on the top of that sound, when I show the people, I also add the voice, because this voice exists everywhere in that square. And I choose the most important sentences and also emotion with which these sentences was said. Also we add a lot of things which in different way show or give us to impression through the sound what happens inside. And if you just will hear the sound line, you will recognize the different situation which you cannot see. And also when it was a battle in normal life, this battle not such impressive from sound point of view. And we have to make this, to push a little bit, add the drums and make a composition with a tube who is like on the top of that composition. Yeah, it was very interesting. This is absolutely like fiction, because it's a film. You have to tell in 2 hours. It's so small. You have to use all this dimension to make this, to make a film more rich than it is, than it is only from the picture. But also it's interesting to work with different frequencies. It is kind of separate work, because also we made a Foley sound, like for feature film. Normally in documentary, who care about that? But the Foley, the steps, can you give a character of the situation? It can be a brutal, it can be a tender, and it's a different kind of aspect. And time from time, sound stay in confrontation with the picture. Picture is quiet, sound is active, and in opposite way. Interesting. This is kind of waves, and you try to find a resonance in between your impression from the picture and the impression from the sound when you need it. And in that film I prepare a whole film, one moment where I think the spectator can feel this movement here and ready to cry. I prepare one moment when it was a kind of funeral in the place, which for me it was most important moment of that revolution, when like 100,000 people, 3 days, came to the place and like pray and say I don't know, thank you, or participate in this funeral of the people who was killed during that revolution. It is very important because to pay attention to the memory and to fix memory through that. I think in that place, in Maidan, it will be a monument, like memorial to that people.